back. This is Mom from Creative Studio. Today we are going to talk about the last render that I posted, which it was a forest house in 3ds Max. We have been inspired by one of the work of the render camp. For those who don't know about render camp, it's an academy that teaches you the realistic render. As well they have a YouTube channel. You can also take the course in online in their site. So let's jump into the video. So let's begin. As you can see, I got this house from the Evolution. You can also get it. I'm going to give you in the description down below. As well, these trees are from the Evolution. We are going to use these trees as a reference for our work. First of all, I'm going to change the default shading into the clay mode, and I'm going to hide these trees in order that not to interrupt my work. And then I'm going to start with the plane. I'm going to the tool view and I'm going to make a plane, but make sure that we don't have any extra segments. Both of them are one. I'm going to place this plane a little bit higher, and I'm going to change it to edit poly, and I'm going to select one of the side of my plane, and I'm going to the left side, and I'm going to hold on a shift and move it a little bit. As you can see, this thing is producing for me a layer of the ground. As you can see, as I'm playing with the ground as I want it. All right, something like that. Totally. I'm going to change this a little bit, moving these segments a little bit down. I'm going to change it like this one. All right. What I'm going to do is for me right now is that to place water right here, and placing trees and plants above this plane. What I'm going to do now is that to place vertical segments to that plane, and I'm going to give value of 10, let's say, and then I'm going to change it to turbo smooth in order that to make that smoother. And then I'm going to change it the value of 1, like for example 2. As much you get this value higher, the smoother will be. I'm going to go to the edit poly, and then I'm going to all the way down in order that to give a details to my plane. I'm going to place that like for example 3, and brush size let's say 5. If you can see that I'm placing that one. As you can see, I'm giving a details to a plane. You can draw as you want it, like for example randomly around here, and paint it in order that to give some of the details to that one. All right, something like that one. Let's say we have something like that. All right, so what I'm going to do is that to going to the relax bar. What this is going to do is relaxing these sharp edges. Now is that to give another turbo smooth in order that to get smoother. Right now I'm going to give a plane. It will be for the water. I'm going to, but before that I'm going to place a V-ray camera. I'm going to place a camera right here. We are going to do right now is that to move this plane around here, is that to place let's say a trees farther away, like we have something like that. what I'm going to do now is to distribute the trees around there and there. First of all, I'm going to unhide those trees that I've hidden from the beginning and distribute these trees around this plane and this plane. To do that, I have a plugin that's called Forest plugin. It's very easy to use. As well, it has its own library. It's very realistic and very easy to use. For example, I want to use these plants, these trees. I'm going to click over this plane and it will automatically distribute that type of tree around this plane. So now, as you can see, it's automatically distributed, but I want to change the way of distribution of that tree. To do that, I'm going all the way down to the distribution. And in here you can change your the way of distribution. The way of distribution of the tree is very dense, so I'm going to all the way up to the area. In here you can find the scale, so I'm going to increase the number of the scale so it will decrease the density of the tree, as you can see right now. I'm going to give another type of trees around there. I'm going back to the forest pack and click it over here, but this time I'm going to with a custom. I'm going to use one of my trees. So I'm going to go to the modify list and I'm going all the way down and I'm going to select the custom object. I'm going to select one of these trees, for example this one. So what it's going to do is distribute that type of tree around this plane. But as you can see now, the trees are as well as going to the water. I don't want to interrupt my water, so I'm going to select this one. I'm going to all the way up to the area, and there's an icon. I'm going to select the plane. As you can see, the trees that are in the water has been gone. Alright, so now I'm going to do is to distribute the grass around this plane as well. I'm going to the preset, layered lawns, and I'm going to select one of these one, for example this one. As you see now, the grasses has been distributed all over here. So I'm going to draw for example a freehand line, like for example in organic way. For example, I'm going to select something like this one. I'm going to choose this to select this grass, and I'm going to the modify list and I'm going all the way down to the area, and I'm going to select the spline line that I want to exclude it from it. For example this one, I'm going to exclude it from this one, and the way I want it, like for example this one is showing me how much you want to be excluded. Like for example I want something like this one. The way of distribution is getting changed with that spline line. As well, I'm going to give this another type of details. Like for example, I will go another with a forest pack plugin. I'm going to select this plane, and I'm going to, like for example, with those details, I'm going all the way down to the custom object, and for example I'm going to select this one. As well, I'm going to another one. and I'm going to custom object. For example, I'm going to add this. I'm going to add another one, like for example this time, let's say I have this item, custom object, like for example I'm going to select this type. Alright, so as you can see now, it's distributed around here. As you can see, it's all as well distribute this one. I'm going to all the way down to the area, and I'm going to select this one in order that to exclude it from the from this spline line. And now I'm going to add some materials. First of all, I'm going to open material library. Don't worry, I'm going to give you these materials in a description down below. I'm going to add these materials to my ground, and now I'm going to make a water material. First of all, I'm going to change the physical material into the V-Ray material, and I'm going down to the map and changing the bump into the noisy. And here I'm going to add a value of 0.5. I'm going back and I'm going to change the diffuse. I'm going to change the color to the bluish color to our water. Alright, and I'm going to the reflect, having some of the reflection, and I'm going to the refract. And now I'm going to add a wooden robot to add more realistic dramatic effect to my render. And now I'm going to add a V-Ray HDRI. I'm going to make overall material into 1.2 and render material into 1.2 as well. And now I'm going to select my camera. I'm going to modify. I'm going to change the ISO into 200 and aperture into 7 and the shutter speed into 100. I'm going down to the white balance into D55, which it will give the cooler effect to a render. And now I'm going to add a fog to the environment in order that to give more realistic dramatic effect. To do that, I'm going to press number 8 or go to the rendering and select environment. And then I'm going all the way down to the effects, and now I'm going to add a V-Ray environment fog. And now I'm going to select the scatter GI and place a distance, like for example I will place 400, and fog height I'm going to press 30 meters. And now I'm going to the render setting, to the render element, and I'm going to add a very atmosphere. And I'm now going to render it.